Imagine hitting a man with everything you've got, and he just stands there. Meet Butterbean.
Keep your head up, I want you to grow with me. See this growing on me, want you to glow with me. Alright, okay. We did it.
Transforming every calorie into raw power, he knocked out Jack Beast.
The world been dying, days is numbered, check the climate, I'm sick of it. Fuck the head-brain scheme to get the riches quick. Play the long game, what serene scene, and with this.
And this 400-pounder proved to be the ultimate build. Eric Esch, better known as Butterbean, has delivered over 70 knockouts.
This shit not just for the show, but bet you entertain. Anybody not for me is below me, blow me, you in the way. I live my dreams, I got it locked, the master keep it on me.
And is adored by millions of fans. Welcome back to Born to Brawl. Today we're serving up 8 of the best fights of the powerhouse. Butterbean versus James Thompson. In February 2007, Butterbean faced the cocky giant James Thompson, who was in top physical form with steroid-pumped muscles. Being a foot taller than Butterbean, and with victories over Dan Severn and Don Fry, everyone feared for Eric. But what happened shocked everyone. At first it felt like the fight was going to be a very one-sided affair in favor of Thompson, but what the giant got in return was a windmill of shots that could knock out a horse. Dropping Thompson with a left, a subsequent flurry on the ground ended the bodybuilder's pride, all in 43 seconds. Butterbean versus Sean Yagan. Besides MMA, Butterbean also had an appetite for boxing matches. Yagan in a boxing match in Nevada. The smaller but more jacked fighter Sean Yagan was singing wildly. His plan was to flow like a butterfly and sting like a bee.
Yagan shaken up by a left hook by Bean. Butterbean calls himself the heavyweight champion of the 4-rounders and wants to fight Mike Tyson, of all people, in a 4-round fight. Just challenged him to that. There's Yagan trying to...
Even under the crushing weight of Butterbean, Yagan was throwing shots like they had an effect on the 400-pound man.
New York last December, about a year ago.
But Butterbean was calm and collected. One shot landing cleanly was all he needed.
A tricep. He fought William Harris in Beverly Hills, California, and won by a 4-round knockout. But in that fight, hurt his arm, had to undergo several months off. Yagan trying to utilize the ring. It seems every time Butterbean lands a punch. Good right hand by Yagan in close. Drives Butterbean back a little, but then Bean coming over the top. The referee is Jane 80.
A big right hand sent Yagan spiraling, almost crashing.
Right hand by Butterbean. Greater disparity in the look of two fighters' bodies, and Bean is opening up.
Butterbean was now fully turned on.
Yagan trying to answer back.
Every time Butterbean landed, it looked like a truck had crashed into Yagan.
Yagan, although he's had 8 fights, he just turned pro this year. This is his 9th professional bout this year. He eats a left hook there and is definitely in some trouble. This round obviously seeming very long.
A left-right combo make him take a knee.
Kansas, and he may want to take the first plane back to Kansas tonight.
Getting back up, Butterbean delivered a super necessary combination that ended the fight.
Hit hard, fight is over.
Butterbean versus Louis Monaco. In 1995, a young Butterbean was at a career lightest at 300 pounds. While that may seem extremely heavy to most, by Esch's standards, it was very trim. His opponent was the huge heavyweight Louis Monaco, who had a bodybuilder physique and disastrous power in his punches. It was a battle of 6-pack abs versus beer belly. In the opening 3 seconds, Monaco was on the floor after Esch came charging across the ring and decked him with the first shot he threw. After dusting himself off, the muscle-bound boxer made the unwise decision to fight fire with fire. But Butterbean was not just fat rolls. He swung all his body into his punches and dropped the bodybuilder again.
Second knockdown in this round fighter that he was facing with only 1 fight. We have seen fighters who boxed him do a little bit better.
Butterbean got a 3rd chance to give him a proper send-off, so he obliged. A big right hand straight from the kitchen folded Monaco like a lawn chair into the shadow line.
I mean, there you go.
And good night with that. We will see opponents with the...
It marked his 15th straight victory. Enjoying this so far? Make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Subscribing helps us to create even better videos for you to enjoy. Back to the video. Butterbean versus Ed White. Towards the tail end of his career in 2006, Butterbean confronted 6'6" Ed White and delivered a performance that is remembered for ages. At the onset, White pelted him with big uppercuts.
Another stick, so he's got a huge reach and height advantage here, and he's putting it to good use. Bean going back.
And Butterbean for a moment was looking like a punching bag.
He doesn't care about the legend or trouble.
However, Esh was only taking the counter-striking approach, looking to counter with big shot.
He doesn't care about the legend. Butterbean and
Once Butterbean entered his range, he released his trademark combination that knocked White off his feet and spiraling out of the ring.
the referee!
Butterbean comes with that big.
Butterbean versus Pat Jackson. In 1995, when he clashed against the 6'6" giant Pat Jackson at the Pontchartrain Center in Kenner, Louisiana, Butterbean delivered more than everyone had bargained for. From the onset, Butterbean looked to land his big right hand,
Wanted Pat Jackson to stand in front of him, but guess
while
what?
the taller Jackson peppered him with jabs from the outside.
He might be in that crosshair, and offensive fighters try to incorporate some defense into their.
But Butterbean soon started to dominate.
And there's a little blood trickling also. We're in round 2. And they told Butterbean in between rounds, there's a jab by Jackson. Again, that's not a hard punch to land. He holds on.
By the third round, Butterbean's stealthiness soon drained Jackson's fighting spirit.
He's so tired.
Jackson was exhausted, and Butterbean could now close the show.
They just get the hands moving. It is better than nothing.
However, looking to deliver a finishing blow, referee Terry Wood was floored by a right hook from the 400-pound beast.
And referees cannot protect themselves at all times.
While he received attention, Jackson conceded, tossing in the towel, thus granting Butterbean the victory.
Well, the Bean, is he going to double knockout on this one?
He certainly should.
Butterbean versus Zulusinho. It was very rare for Butterbean to be outweighed by his opponent. Well, he met his match when he collided against hulking MMA fighter Zulusinho. The Brazilian giant stood at 6 feet 7 inches and weighed in at a monstrous 407 pounds. From the off, both men came swinging out the gates like there were chicken wings and pizza on the line. The Brazilian employed underhooks that sent both of them flying, and it felt like the entire ring was about to crash. But like Butter, Ersh was on top with full control of the giant's right arm. From side control, Butterbean unleashed hammer shots, then knees to Zulusinho's food basket. And more knees and elbows turned his insides to mush. Doing his best Khabib impression, the skilled Butterbean locked in an Americana and forced the tap from Zulusinho. Butterbean had eviscerated yet another giant, and he left Zulusinho writhing in pain. A competitor in the heavyweight and super heavyweight divisions, Esh is an overall 4-time world champion across the 4 sports. Butterbean versus Peter Graham. Butterbean was known as King of the 4 rounds because only few opponents could survive past the 4th round against Butterbean. Going against the Titan Peter Graham, Esh was finding his opponent's face easily like his lunch.
Butterbean has no
Releasing hard jabs. He stunned his enemy without even swinging from the hip. But his opponent was not a walk in the park.
Good right hand. Better do something because Butterbean to rally to finish the round. It's another thing he's learned.
By the 2nd round, it was dinner time, and Esh wanted a knockout.
Has to give up his edge. He lands a thunderous right-hand shot clean to the head of Graham. Graham's shown a pretty good ability to take these punches, but
so he looked for the final blow.
Seems to be losing just a tiny
Finding Graham's power button, Esh made him see stars.
And Butterbean counters.
Now seeing 2 opponents in the ring, Butterbean was ready to eviscerate him completely. However, Graham was saved by the bell, and the king of the 4 rounds had little time left. In the 3rd round, bouncing like a lightweight, a bomb to the body sent Graham flying out of the ring.
While you're talking to him.
Now the giant was contemplating his decision to step back in with Butterbean, but the referee coming to his rescue stopped the fight. Butterbean versus Alan Smith.
Biggest target is not the head for Butterbean.